and I want to recognize you guys and gals, and I want to talk about what we can do as far as who wins the big award, the big golden cowbell award. Somebody did win. I'm going to announce that, but I also want to talk about the runners up today. We've had a great year here in at Real Estate Wholesalers Club. And I'm very thankful for everybody that's participated, and everybody adds so much value. Everybody that comes to the Q&A sessions live every day. Thank you for that. You guys really make this club what it is. I was thinking about this yesterday, and from my heart, I was thinking, how do I really feel about things, and I was watching some YouTube videos, some psychology videos, so it had me digging deep.
I'll come the drugs.
Yeah. So, I'm really doing this introspective undertaking, on a Sunday afternoon. I'm just really digging deep in my soul and asking myself about the Real Estate Wholesalers Club, and asking myself about real estate and all of you, and how I really feel about that, and what would I say. And I think the words that came to me were, I don't think I've ever been a part of anything ever that I was able to put my heart into like I can with you guys. That's the facts. Yes. Coach Victor's
I'm tearing up over here.
Wait.
He's busting my chops over here. But that is true. I really can put my heart into it. And I think a lot of times people ask me, hey, what do I need to do to break that lazy, inconsistent, I know I should do it, but I just don't seem to ever get it done, that kind of thing. And we all know what that is. I got that bone, you got that bone. I think that was a standard factory issue, human problem. The only advice I can say is, I think really truthfully, is then find something that you can really, really, really put your heart into. And that's what this club has done for me, especially this year. I recognize that, we've only been doing this about 3 years now. So 3 years, can you imagine? Wow. Woo. That's a lot of Q&As. Holy cow. Well, anyway, hopefully in the last 3 years, we've been able to touch you in your heart a little bit, and help you move the momentum a little bit further in your direction. So today I wanted to take some time. I want to mention some names, but just because I don't mention your name, if I don't mention your name, it doesn't mean that you're not valuable. It doesn't mean you're not important. It just means that there were some other folks that put their heart into it a little bit more. That's all. So, we're here to help one another. And a lot of you really, really do a lot of helping with each other. And that makes this club wonderful, in my opinion. So I want to do some honorable mentions of some runners up. Now, what I want to do today is I do want to present the Shut Up Money Cowbell Award here. And what that is the Real Estate Wholesalers Club Golden Cowbell Award 2021. It's a real cowbell. Comes with a little. Yeah, it's an absolutely real cowbell. It's a genuine, bona fide, 100%
handle and everything.
Authentic. Yeah, this shit's the real. Hey, we're not getting you the fake shit here. You know what I mean?
No. It's legit.
Somebody was like, hey, is it made of real gold? And I was like, nah, we don't get that fake shit here. We get the real cowbell here, man. We dealing in the real deal. Right. So, and then it comes with this little plaque. I promise I'll wipe it off from where I had my coffee mug sitting on it earlier. Just a nice way of saying thank you. Hopefully it's nice. And then, for the winner, they can set that on their, it comes with this nice Lazy Susan turntable, the automatic. You see, you notice how I'm not a magician. See, I'm not. I'm not
Spare no
making.
expense.
Yeah,
Spare no expense.
I'm not making it do this spinning thing by magic. It's just it's a thing I got from Amazon. So,
Very cool.
so whoever wins this can set it up and really like maybe put it on your mantelpiece. Make it like put it by the the KFC chicken bucket collection or whatever important memorabilia you may have collected over the years.
It was in the me room.
And the runners up, those folks that I'll mention, those were nominated by you. The club members voted. That's how all of this came about. But the runners up will receive the mini cowbell that has the Real Estate Wholesalers Club 2021 Club MVP runner up sticker on it. So that might be, that's because that's a real cowbell too, but it's really, really small.
What about that tuxedo you got on?
So what do you think of that? Yeah.
Pretty
Hey, I
cool.
went with the gold option. They had red and blue but anyway.
Have to
So
match
it's
the
good to
bell.
say that again, Coach Victor.
You have to match the bell.
Got to match the bell. That's right. And we got to keep it classy around here.
That's right.
We are 100% a class act around here. Oh, I wish to God that was true. I wish to God that was true. Yeah.
Oh, man.
All right. So first up, in no particular order, our first runner up, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce you, and then I'd like you to just share for 2-3 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you got in your heart, and just tell us about your year, tell us about your business, tell us about the club, about people in the club, whatever you want to talk about. The floor is yours for 3 to 5 minutes, something like that, because we got a good number of folks to mention today. So let's start out with let's see here. I got to pick engine number 9 going down Chicago line. No, it's not a good way to pick. Okay, let's start with Jerry. Can we start with Jerry Smith? Jerry, we love you. You're an awesome dude.
Guy.
Jerry was nominated for MVP of the year, and he came in as a runner-up. So, Jerry, the floor is yours, man. Thank you for being a part of the club.
I just want to say, after joining the club, it really has helped me. It's been an amazing year. I think the coaches are great. Okay. And when you was thinking of people with the runner-up, I was also thinking in my mind about a runner-up for the coach of the year. But as I was thinking, all of the coaches are great. So there's not one that I could really pick out. Okay. So all of you guys are great. You've been a lot of help to me. Okay. As to when I first came in, I had a lot of problems as far as talking to homeowners. Okay. And after role plan, it has helped me, and the support that you get from the club. If I ever have a problem, I know that the club is here to support me, and it's just been great. And I love you guys.
I love you too, Jerry. Jerry, I'm always excited to see you show up, man. Whenever you show up, whenever you can, to the Q&As. I know that we have a lot of them, and you can't make them all.
When I watch a lot of the videos, okay, afterwards.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. Very, very loyal, faithful attender and follower. And it's always exciting to see you here, man. You have a lot to add. What's one big thing that's happening in your business this year or has happened?
One of the big things that's happening, it has not happened yet. I'm trying to flip a motel.
What? Give us the elevator, speech on that. Tell us about that.
It was a situation. I met a gentleman approximately 2 years ago. He was a wannabe investor, and we met at a rare group, and sort of stayed in touch with him. And he told me about this motel that the lady had been trying to sell for 2 years. And he didn't want to move forward. He didn't know where to go with it, okay? So I asked him to show me where it was and give me the address. So I went and took a look at it, and I was able to get in touch with the people. And on that particular deal, I had a contract, they sold it to someone else, and then those people can't close on it now. And so they called me back. So it's in the process. It's not a done deal yet. It's just in the process.
That's good though. That's good.
And
Sounds
my wife is a nurse, and she works for American Addiction. And it was 15 rooms, okay? And all of the rooms are like kitchenettes, okay? Where they got the stove, the refrigerator. And she was saying, why don't we buy it and turn it into something for the veterans, you know? So
That's
she
great.
got all excited about it, but I just want to flip it.
What state is it in?
Florida.
You got to look into assisted living.
Pardon?
I'm telling you, you got to advertise it, market it for assisted living. You'll
Yeah.
move it this afternoon.
Right.
The market is that hot. I've done 2 of them.
I had someone interested in it before they backdoored me on it, okay? So now I have to get back in touch with the people, okay, and see if we get this back. I'm working on that right now.
If you strike out, you call me.
Oh, I attempted to call you a couple of times, but I wanted to try to do it on my own. But believe me, I got your number sitting here, you know.
You can always
You on speed dial.
bring it to the deal lab Monday night. There you go, tonight. I'm
Okay.
telling you,
Right.
assisted living is the way to go with that property. All right,
Yeah.
sorry to butt in. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good, Jerry. That's awesome. I'm proud of you, dude. You should be proud of yourself. It looks like you're swinging for the fences, man. And I'm rooting for you, bro. Rooting for you. Thank you for being a part of the club. Thank you for all the value you add in participating with us here. All right.
I would not have had the courage and and the know-how to step out there and do it if it wasn't for the group here. So thank you guys for all the support and always being there. And one of the things I know, if I run into a problem with this, Steve is just a phone call away. So proud to be a part. Thank God.
We have a great coaching team here. Great coaching
Yeah.
team. All right, let's go. Let's hear from the ladies. Y'all ready? You ready for it? Is LaShonda in the room? Is LaShonda able to talk? I want you to take the floor.
Hell yeah, I'm here.
You're a runner-up for the MVP award of the year.
Well, thank y'all.
So,
Thank y'all. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah.
Bell.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't know if you could hear that. I got the noise filter way up today. Sorry. All right, LaShonda, you're an MVP runner-up of the year. You got the floor for 3 to 5 minutes. Tell us whatever's on your heart or your mind.
What's on my heart and my mind?
What's
First of
on
all, I
your
want to
heart?
say thank you all for nominating me. The club has been awesome. I joined, I don't remember when I joined, I think November, December, somewhere like that. Since then, I have gained a lot of structure because I was all over the place with my business. I'm still a little all over the place, actually. But I've gotten a whole lot better with the club. I've gotten a whole lot better with calling and communicating with sellers based off of role playing and watching a lot of sessions I'm not able to attend. So I watch a lot of the videos after after the sessions is over or whatever. And I just want to say that I appreciate everybody that's in this group because everybody is very supportive, whether it's just us regular people and then we have all the coaches, right? So I just want to say that once again that the club has allowed me to grow and I'm continuing to grow. And I want to bring that bell home, baby.
Yeah. All right. Good. LaShonda's had a good year, and sounds like, and she didn't tell us all about that in this video here today, but yeah, had a good year, and she's always got that extra energy. Don't you wish you had just a little bit of her energy?
Well,
Uh,
actually, I can speak about that. I have had a great year so far. I'm still grinding. We still have what, 4 months left? September? Yeah, however many months we got left.
Yeah.
I still feel like it's still plenty of time for us to get more deals. But yes, you're correct. I have had a great year, and I plan for it to be even greater by December 31st.
when she says great year, she doesn't mean like she's been happy this year. She means she made a lot of money. Just to break that down.
I've made some money. I've made a total, since I've been in the group, a total of like 95,000 and something.
Wow.
95,200 and something.
Wow.
So yes, I plan to by December, I'm gonna get 100 grand. If I don't get number one more deal with 5K, I'm good. My goal is 100 grand, and so I'm still going at it.
Well, that sounds easy. Congratulations.
Sounds easy. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being a part of things, LaShonda. You really add a lot to the club here.
Also, you too, Justin. You're a great coach. I call you a coach / mentor.
Thank you.
I think you're a great leader. All of the coaches are great leaders. And this club has really, given the people value for the amount of money that we're being charged monthly. That makes a difference.
Yeah.
Because a lot of clubs nowhere near as reasonable as this one. So that helps as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that. We try to, that's what we're trying to do. They say if you want to be successful, you have to give more value than you expect in money return.
Right.
And that's what we want to do here. And hopefully everybody feels that way. Thank you for saying that. All right, let's move on. Let's go to is Coach Nick available? Is he in the room? Is he available? Coach Nick is he's the leader of our Wednesday night tactical real estate startup. It's a great thing. If you've never been on Wednesday nights VIP with Coach Nick, you are missing out. This dude is one sharp cookie. And I mean, he's very sharp. I'm glad that somehow he came to me and got in this club, because he's got the right stuff. And if you want the right stuff, just go. He'll show you what it is. Okay, Coach Nick, you got the floor for 3 to 5 minutes, sir.
Thanks, Vince, for the kind words. But where I want to say first and foremost, man, thank you for. I'm very glad that I got introduced to you, and I've not only gained a mentor, a great coach, but I feel like I've gained an older brother in you. And I mean, I'm very grateful for everything that your club had provided me, and I'm able to kind of give back to that. And everything in here, like even just from meeting other people inside this group to, Victor, to Mark, LaShonda, Sandra, Jerry. I mean, just great relationships all the way across the board. I'm very grateful to all of y'all, for helping me out in the beginning and even kind of working with me. And it's been great. I'm very grateful for this club.
Well, we're very grateful for you, sir. So thank you for saying all those nice, wonderful words. You guys are blowing me up all big. All right. Appreciate that. Let's go on to Rick. Is Rick in the room? Rick G. Man, Rick is a charter member. Rick has been with me from the very, very beginning. Rick, I don't know how you found me, man, but I'm sure glad
Yeah.
you did.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's been a blessing ever since, though. I mean, I've said it before, and just everything that you do and give to this club is just changing so many people's lives. It's insane, man. And I mean, just being a part of this group, and um, what I really like about it is that everybody from the group is, kind of at a different place, and so everybody has kind of something to share. I don't talk much. I know I need to do that more, right? But it's just been a real blessing to be a part of it, man, and just growing. I mean, I'm always restructuring myself, kind of taking a step back and listening to all the experiences and everything that others have with all the different calls and everything. And it's really just an ongoing, growing, enjoyable process, just being a part of all this, man. I can't thank you enough, and everybody that's here. It's just been an amazing journey. Looking forward, to all the years ahead of just growing together.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Hey,
Thank you.
Hey,
Larry, you were going to say something?
oh, no.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. Yeah.
No, man, that's
yeah,
really,
Rick.
I mean, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it, Rick. Go for it.
No, that's really, I mean, the biggest thing is just growing together as the group, and just feeling all those experiences, and really just learning off of each other, man. It's really a great environment. And
Yeah,
again,
thank you.
words can't really describe, how much I appreciate just being a part of such an awesome group. So I want to thank you and everybody, man. I love everybody.
Thank
So
you.
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. A lot of people don't know this. Maybe nobody knows this. But Rick helps me out with some social media management a little bit here and there. If you've noticed, our group isn't loaded full of skip tracers and cold callers and virtual assistants that post in the group every 5 seconds. Have you noticed that? It's pretty clear of that. We have Rick to thank for a lot of that.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that. Thank you very much. All right. Larry is up. These are runners up. It's like surgeons general. It's runners up, right? Not runner ups. All right. Larry is a runners up for the MVP award, the Golden Cowbell. You're a runner up, sir. So Larry, you've been with us for a long time, and Larry brings a lot of joy to the club. That's Larry's gift. He brings a lot of laughter and joy to the club. He's good heart, good spirit, good attitude, and it's always good to have Larry around. So Larry, you've got the floor for 3 to 5 minutes if you'd like to share something, man.
Well, thank you.
Thank
Justin.
you.
Thank everybody. Well, I don't know if a lot of people know me or not well, but thanks for nominating me for the runner-up. I've learned a lot from the club and from all the coaches on here, and learned how to talk to sellers. And I think it's a great deal that we got going here. Everybody just tries to help everybody out, and that seems to be a real help to me, and I would think everybody else. But I think we have some real good coaches on here. And I've been on a while, so probably a year, I guess.
Yeah, maybe longer than that, Larry. Maybe longer than that.
Wow.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'm glad
I really learned a lot on here now.
Yeah.
I haven't done a lot of deals, but I keep trying anyway.
That's good. Good. I'm glad you're with us, man. And like I said, your attitude is something that we need to spread around a little bit. We need to spread that attitude around. Got a good one. Glad you're here, Larry. Let's go on. I have a guest speaker that's going to come on and keynote speak for us just for a little while today. And he said he's going to light the fire under us. He said he was going to pull our hair a little bit, so this is going to get dangerous. All right. So let's move forward. Is Arturo here? Coach Arturo, are you in the room here, bro?
what's going on, my guys?
Hey, Coach Arturo, he heads up our Friday Ace Your Local Market. This is a man of high energy and high skill. All right, so he's got a lot of knowledge when it comes to doing the owner finance, creative finance, seller finance, subject twos, so on and so forth, that type of thing. But not only that, this guy is a marketing wizard. All right, if you had 10% of the marketing energy this man puts into his business, we would all be richer. All right. So Coach Arturo, you got the floor for 3 to 5 minutes, sir. Thank you, sir. Runners up.
Thank you guys. Again, the club speaks for itself as far as the shut up money, again, and the guts. Ever since I met Justin, I doubled my business. I've been doubling my business consistently since I met Justin. So it was just a matter of pacing myself, again, hearing other people's way of talking as far as to the sellers and implementing it. And yeah, I try to bring, again, you guys know me by now that I'm frugal with my money. So I try not to spend money when I don't have to. So if I can get something for free, just put in some work, especially I put myself like how I started initially. Again, I put myself against the wall, no money, find a way to get deals with no money out of your pocket. So yeah. And as far as the team, the group, again, one of the things that I like to tell people, like, you got to be accountable for yourself. And again, me being in the group makes me accountable, because if I tell you I preach something, I got to bring it to the table as well. So again, when I show you guys checks that makes me accountable, and hopefully it inspires you. Hey, these guys, he's getting money by the way he's marketing. So why not me? Again, I'm not special. I consider myself real smart, of course, but nothing so complex that you can't do it. Again, being smart is just being able to add 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. Eventually you get to 100. So if you just chop it down and be accountable for yourself and have the guts, again, I always praise the guts, because again, that's what you need to be able to confront the sellers and be able to think on your toes and not be able to be afraid. Again, that's key, because you might get 20 leads, but if you suck in the phone, again, you're dumping it in the trash. And that's what I got from the team. That's what I got from Justin. The way he talks, I still struggle sometimes to slow myself down, but I'm thinking about it. So I try to slow down. Again, ask the questions that are tough. Again, I can pull over right now and ask somebody if they want to sell their house. That's part of the guts. Being able to just don't worry about anything else, how they think about you. Just stop, ask. Oh, how do you mean? Oh, okay. Again, that's part of the guts. And again, I think just for that.
Man, we think you're a smart guy around here. You're a smart guy, and very, very, very effective guy too. And I want that to rub off on everybody. You know, you said something real important there, I think too, and that is that the accountability that you get from preaching one thing on Friday and then feeling the need to continue to live it out during the rest of the week. That sounds like something my dad would say.
Yep.
My dad's a preacher, man. He would say that about Sundays now.
Yeah. Do what you say. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I want to say that for everybody that's in the club, if you're not a runner up, if you're not a coach, or if you're not getting in with both feet into the club, that is something that you will get from it if you do put yourself into the club like that. If you do put yourself into the club like that in a leadership kind of role where you're helping other people, or you're assisting other people, or helping to add coaching to other people's lives in some way, JVing on some deals or partnering on some things, those things right there will help you be accountable. All right. Well said, Coach Arturo. Thank you, sir. Very glad you're a part of this club. Let's go back to the ladies. Let's talk to Sandra. Sandra is a runner-up. Yeah, Sandra deserves it. Sandra is a warrior. She's a warrior. She's very solid. Very, very solid. I don't know if she's able to speak here. She didn't pop on. Maybe we'll catch her here in a little while. Is that her?
About that.
Sandra, yay.
Hi. Sorry.
What's going on?
I'm trying to hide in the back of like a grocery store over here. But hi guys.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that's a part of this club. So are you okay? I thought I heard somebody struggling to cough or something, but I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that's a part of this club. I'm coming up to almost a year in being in the club now, and it's been so helpful for me in so many ways. I remember that I joined the call lab in March, and shout out to Mark. That's really helped me in terms of that, in terms of talking to sellers, and not just sellers, also talking to buyers as well, because you got to be able to go on both sides of the deal, the acquisition and a dispo. So that's really helped me to build my confidence. This fall would be my, completing my first year of, investing. And it's a lot of hard work. It's not meant for everybody, and we're definitely a special type of breed, because it's very easy to fall off and give up. But the club is so supportive. Shout out to all the other coaches as well.
Yes.
I felt like there was, like, for me, I had to do this because, one of the things I've always said is, like, I felt like there was no plan B, really. I had a full-time job and a part-time job, both in the hospitality industry. And I thought I was all set, and look what happened. So I feel like this way, it gives me the opportunity to really be in the driver's seat. And it's just changed me, like, mentally wise, in terms of just, how I'm thinking about just being my own boss. And, real estate for me is generational wealth, and the things that I want to do, for my family as well. So, thank you so much. This club is just amazing, and I try to make an effort to be here every single day, and get what everybody else is also contributing. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah. Thank you for participating. We love having you here. You add a lot of value. Thank you. Well-deserved runners up. Well-deserved. All right, Alan Bryan, where you at, bro? Where you at? He's a runners up. He was nominated for the MVP of the year. Alan Bryan. There you go. You got the floor, sir. 3 minutes. 5 minutes.
Thank you for the nomination, Justin, and thank you for the club, bro. I can't believe, I don't know what I did right to be nominated, but
Also
thank you.
Also a warrior. This guy's a phone warrior.
I learned from the best from all of y'all, man. Take advantage of all the weekly meetings, and I thank the club for getting me past that discomfort and continuing to failing forward, and not dwelling on what could have been, but just keep on moving forward. So I want to thank the club for that, because before that I was over analyzing in YouTube University, so that's probably a huge leap ever since I joined. So shout out to all of y'all for being patient with me and helping me get through all my silly questions, and of course the call labs, and with Coach Mark, the D lab with Coach Steve, the Monday Tuesdays with Justin, and Arturo with the Friday joints, and Coach Victor with the Wednesday joint, which I remember day one, man. I'm like, whatever, man, I'm just gonna go for it. So he helped me get past through that. So appreciate the club, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Appreciate it.
Sorry. Thank you, dude. You had a lot of value here. Really glad you're a part of the club, Alan. You're inspiring on the phone. If you need to be inspired on the phone, listen to Alan. Okay. He's got some great magic there. Coach Steve, our Monday Night Deal Laboratory coach. You were nominated for MVP of the year, so you're a runners up, sir. Thank you. Welcome.
Oh boy.
You
I
got
want
the
to
floor.
thank the Academy.
Yes, sir. Thank the Academy. They all voted for you.
Hey, you know what? This is really the basis of this. Okay. The basis of this is supposed to be lease options. And that's how this was promoted when I looked at it. And that's the reason why I got on it. I didn't do a whole of a lot of lease optioning with residential property. And as this evolves, I think I've been with this now about 8 months, I don't know, a year. You look at the calls, the way the people come in, the questions they ask. This has got a hell of a lot more to do with than just lease options. you know, firstly, if you can't talk on a telephone, you're not going to get anywhere. So you look at Victor, you listen to Mark and Victor, and they pull you up and they put you in the driver's seat and say, all right, let me get you started with these tools. And then if you want to go on, you know, you got Nicholas, which will show you how to get your business off the ground and get started. So that's all great. And you've got, every time I tune into Arturo, I learn something on Fridays. I mean, he's a very smart young lad. He really is. I like listening to him. And I started doing this Monday night call because I find it fun. And you know what? Most entrepreneurs, I think, all have ADD, because it's very, very tough for us to stay in one place and not move on and go into something else. And I am probably one of the biggest problems with that, because I'm never satisfied with what I'm doing. I'm always jumping all over the place.
Right.
But I've done well in life, and I think people that just keep to themselves and don't share they're just selfish people. If you've got something to share, it doesn't have to be financial. It can just be, you know, my dad told me years ago, you know, rest in peace. He said to me, listen, he says, when you go to school, he says, they're going to teach you how to be an employee. He says, that's what they're going to teach you. He says, now, when you're going to get most of the smarts, most of what people are going to talk to you, listen to your elders. And I'm not saying I'm an elder. Listen to people that have been in the business a long time. Anything you're going to look at, because they'll open the door and they'll show you things you're never going to find in a textbook. He says, and listen to what they've got to say. And when if they really, really open up to you, he says, you know, you got it made. He says, that's the way you're really going to learn. I had a fellow in a restaurant bar up in Rhode Island, took out a cocktail napkin, and on this napkin, the outline he gave me made me millions of dollars. It wasn't in this industry, it was in another business. But just to show you that going to if we treat this atmosphere with these calls the way that people aren't afraid to ask a question, make believe you're sitting in your best friend's basement having a cocktail and you're just sitting around having a conversation. That's how you learn. Shouldn't be someone here lecturing you, because you're going to lose it. That's why if you look, I started looking on YouTube and how many people tune in and how many people watch, how many people listen, and you know, what you get on a live call, and all of a sudden how many people go on afterwards and they're listening and they're watching these. It's incredible.
Yes,
guys, we can grow this.
Yeah,
I don't want to tell you it's a mistake just calling it lease options, but this should be almost we can encompass everything real estate. And I mean that. I'm not a big commercial guy, but everything residential real estate and finance in this club on these calls.
Let's do it.
Want to think outside the box? Come see me on Monday night. I mean, you know, that's all. What else did I want to say? And I think that's it. I covered it. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are all inspirational. Everybody here has a hidden talent, and they should exploit it and they should help out.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
The only way we grow this group is one at a time. So you have to go out and ask somebody to join. You know, people that are talented, that are in your rear, tell them to join. And that's how we grow.
Yeah.
That's how we get more experience. You know, that's how you become more confident. You know, one thing that happens when you get older, you get more confidence and you get experience. So you're not afraid to aim for the outfield and put that ball over the fence, because you know what the odds are.
Right.
You know, so thanks everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach Steve. He brings a lot of value here. I've surrounded myself with people that are more intelligent than me. You know, have you noticed that? Hopefully you haven't noticed it too much, but yeah, that's so true. And Coach Steve is definitely one of those guys that I look up to, and that I'm trying to I'm just trying to glean everything that I can off Coach Steve. Coach Steve, thank you for being a part of here. Don't miss Monday nights, 8:00 Central for Coach Steve, right here in the Zoom room. And that's open to the public right now. That's one of our only episodes that's open to anybody that wants to come. So if you want a taste of the flavor Right there, Monday nights, 8 o'clock. So let's move on real quick before we introduce our guest speaker. We have two more guys to talk about. And the next guy that's the runners up, Mr. Coach Victor Walker, one of my good friends. I love you, Coach Victor. How are you? You got the floor. This guy, just looking at him makes you feel happier. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's hey, thank you guys. Hey, I just want to say that I have really gained so much value out of being, in this group. I remember when I first introduced myself to you, Justin, and, I think we immediately had a sort of level of respect for each other. And, at that time I was floundering a little bit. I didn't have a whole lot of direction. And then when I came into the group, it just kind of, gave me a family, a place to hang my hat. And just as importantly, it gave me a certain accountability. Like, especially when you invited me to do some coaching, I knew that I was going to have to show up. And I knew that if I showed up, I wanted to show up with value. And in order to create value, in order to bring value, I had to go out and create value. So I've managed to do some things in the business. I'm currently working on a project that I'm super excited about. I have deals in the work. It's just been really good. And I just want to thank everybody that's in the group, everybody that has brought value with you, Coach Steve, Nicholas, Coach Mark, Ace, pretty much everybody in here, all the ladies, Sandra, LaShonda, my man, Jerry Smith, my man, Rick, I could just go down the list of all the names. I don't want to, go through everybody's name, but I just want to let you guys know that I truly, truly appreciate all your contributions. I tend to be a bit of a loner. So this has kind of become my family, to show up and you guys just bring a whole lot of value, and I appreciate you guys voting for me and, putting me up there. I'm disappointed that I didn't win, Coach Mark, but he's such a badass that, it's like, okay, all right, well, I can come in behind this guy.
That's great. Coach Victor's a good friend of mine. If I ever wanted to just call somebody and just talk about shit,
we shoot a shit about everything.
Coach Victor's at the top of the list for me. That's just how it is, and lots of love for you, brother.
Love you too, brother.
Learned a lot from you. You've caused me to grow, dude. I appreciate that.
Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate it. So let's move forward to the winner. Are you ready for the winner of the Golden Cowbell 2021 award? Yeah, yes. Hey, you get this nice little plaque. I promised I'd wipe it off. Yeah. So are you ready? Drum roll, please. Everybody, he already let the cat out of the bag. The winner is not only is he a great guy, not only is he somebody that we all love and we all get along with him super well. He gets along with everybody. Not only that, but this guy is encouraging. He will work with you and never let you feel like you fucked up, like you're just growing. Okay. This is all wonderful, wonderful coaching material here. And so he is also the leader of 2 call labs during the week where we call sellers together. We fucking get on the phone and we call them together. Let me introduce to you none other than our very own Coach Mark Richardson, the winner of the 2021 MVP Golden Cowbell Award.
Oh, way to go, Mark.
Go, Mark!
Yeah.
Mark!
Yeah.
Yes!
Nice.
Fuck, you guys are killing me, man. Man, I'm sitting here going down the list of like everybody that's on here, and I'm like, man, I've got great relationships with all these people, It's like they're just all of you guys. Like I could sit there and go down the line and just go, oh my gosh, but number one dude is Justin. Like not only is he like an unbelievable mentor, but man, he is such a great friend too. He's checking in on me all the time. Just really, really helps me out way more than just being.
Are you gonna cry, dude?
a mentor. Well, it's a rough time. It's a rough time in my life, and you guys are all freaking getting me through this shit.
I just want to fucking hug you
So-
right now, man. That's all I want to fucking do. Just hug
Just
me right
drink
now.
heavily. That's all. Drink
Yeah.
heavily.
Well, that's the problem now. So, but yeah, man, I freaking love you guys. You guys are all so amazing, I mean, I can go down the line and I one thing I gotta say about Larry, which is the best. Larry was on a call and he's all, "Hey man, is it okay if I ask you a few questions and let's see where this takes us?"
I like it. I like
That
it.
was classic. But man, I could really just go down. I mean, Sandra has been a great friend to me. Everybody, Ed, and all the way down the line, I could just keep going and going and going. Nick and Victor's just such a fucking stud.
Yeah.
I am just so grateful for all you guys. You guys are just amazing, and I'm learning every day. And I was scared to death to ever do this call, but that's why, or to do the Thursday call, but that's why I did it, because I wanted to scare myself to death. So,
Yeah.
so I'm beyond grateful for everybody in this group. I mean, like I said, I could just go down the line with every single one of you guys, and I've got great relationships with you. Now I know all these people from all over the country. Nothing like it. So, and that has everything to do with you, Justin. And thank you for everything, buddy. Really, really appreciate you.
You're one of those dudes that I want to play golf with on Friday, man.
We will.
Smoke a little happy lettuce and drink a little beer and just
absolutely.
I don't care if the foreplay in front of us is slow. We're just having fun. Just having fun. That's it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. I really want to thank you all. Like, man, just you guys really do love you guys.
We love
Congratulations, my guy. You deserve it.
Good job, Mark.
Yeah, we love you so much, man. You've added so much value. You have transformed.
Congratulations, my guy.
Yep. I think transformed is the word. You've transformed lives here, man. You have changed lives, and we want to honor you for that and appreciate you for that.
And when you give back, you get it back 20-fold.
Oh,
you guys have transformed my life too. So that's for sure. There's no doubt about it. It's been this is like another family for sure. Like I can call like anybody. I could call anybody and at any time and talk to you guys about anything. That's pretty freaking cool. Out of all these people that are in this group, man. I called Jerry, talked to him. Jason and I just talked about some really cool stuff last week that has nothing to do with freaking real estate, So it's, I lost in basketball today, though. So I just tell you that, yeah.
By how much?
I ran to be a hater. You couldn't just let you have it,
I ran out of gas.
That's fun. Good times.
Hey, and I love Connor too. Connor has been just amazing. So
Mark's got one of those businesses that he does it with his with one of his sons. So think about that. I know there's some other folks here in the club that have that idea and that dream. And I'm just saying there's other folks here doing it too. Thank you, Coach Mark. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
all the runners up. I put my email address in the chat room here in the Zoom room. It's ourteambuyshouses@gmail.com. Please, if you were honored today as a runners up, and Coach Mark, of course, you won. Send me your email, not your email. Send me an email with your mailing address, and I will send you your award in the mail. Okay, and your check. No, I meant you'll have to check the mail for your award. That's what I meant. All right, we have a guest speaker today, and I'm sorry we went long, dude, but we've got probably 40 minutes if you want to rock and roll that long, or maybe not that long. It's up to you. But this is a dynamic guest speaker. He's been here a couple times before. He should be here like once a month. He's incredible. He's going to light the fire under us a little bit here today. Big time marketing master here. Okay. Big time marketing master, knows how to get leads that get deals. All right. So, let me introduce to you today, Mr. Nicholas Nick. Thank you, Mr. Nicholas Nick, for being here. Appreciate it, dude.
What's up, guys? How's it going? Thank you, Justin.
Good.
I love showing up with you. You have got to be my favorite co-host that I've ever had.
That's sweet.
I lay in bed thinking about you sometimes, man, you know? And dude, Justin is the best. Like, his skill set is so hard to come by. You know, I used to work with Cody Sperber, Clever Investor, and, you know, we used to throw live events. And man, if only I knew Justin back then, because I could have really used his flair. And I remember one time I was 15 minutes late for one of his shows, and he just rolled with the punches and went right into it and was a total pro. And Justin, I'll never forget that day. And I really appreciate that. That's a skill that I think often goes unrecognized because you're so good at just handling the flow. So,
well, thank you, dude. My mother taught me that.
Hell yeah, dude.
I appreciate it.
Your mom's a badass. Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. But no, so that's great. And yeah, you know, Justin messaged me, asked me to come on here. You know, guys, I'm the owner of Lead Mining. A lot of you may have heard of me by now, potentially. You know, it's a lead generation company specifically for real estate investors. We're really kind of like an agency in the sense that we kind of do everything. We do list pulling, we do skip tracing for only 7 cents. We do cold calling. I offer Americans and Filipinos, and we do all-inclusive text messaging, or managed text messaging, as I call it, where we actually send the text blast and we pay an employee to handle all your replies for you. And then we send you the lead transcript whenever we generate a lead. Now, all of the services are like originally intended to be done for you, you know, as far as they aren't, you don't have to do anything. A lot of people go, Nick, what do I need to get started? And I just say, well, you know, you have to pay. You know, and I give you guys this backstory so you can really get a feel for, you know, the experience that I have. You know, we've been open for 4 years now. This week, I'm looking at our commitment. This week, we have 48,000 dials scheduled this week.
Wait a minute, 48,000 dials this week?
48,000 this week.
Okay.
That's our current weekly commitment. And you know, and it's growing, you know, so I just share all this so you know the experience I have and the perspective I come from. You know, I come across a lot of different, you know, investors, as I'm sure you can imagine. My product is no contracts, no commitments, and no setup fees. So someone can literally show up to me with 160 bucks, and we'll pull a list, skip trace it, give them Filipino cold callers, and text message them. And then no contract. So they're not stuck with me. They don't have to worry about anything. I tell most people, like, if anything, just use me as a professional split testing tool, because you can go in risk-free, essentially. Like, if you didn't have to sign up for Mojo Dialer, you didn't have to go buy a headset, find a VA, tell him to quit his current job, give him another job. You know, you don't have to invest so much time or energy when using a service like mine. But, you know, I work with a lot of investors. You know, those 48,000 dials, it's probably over 30 to 50 clients. You know, so a lot of different personalities, and I do all of my own customer support. So if anyone ever calls me, I'm the one who answers the phone. And, you know, and I have a lot of different conversations. I have people pay me $250 and make $13,000. You know, calls me out. He didn't even get one lead. He did not get one lead from us. And he goes, Nick, this guy called me 2 weeks later and says he wants to sell from your campaign. Made $13,000 on a $250 investment.
Wow.
I could be wrong. Yeah. But
it's good ROI.
Yeah. I was going to say it's 97% profit. Like, in case anybody's wondering, right? And now, of course, it doesn't happen all the time. You know, it takes diligence. You know, he didn't even get a lead. So technically, I'm surprised he didn't call me up yelling at me. You know, a lot of people, hey, you know, your thing said I'd get a minimum of 2. And you know, I sympathize with those people. And if we ever do fall below our commitment, I'll always work with you know, anybody. We'll give you 10 to 20% off your next purchase. Maybe you provide the list. I can skip trace it for free. I have so many options at my fingertips. And you know, it's my goal to make sure everybody is happy because we're no contracts, no commitments. It's my extreme customer service that, you know, keeps people around, you know. Then I have some other people, you know, they spend $2,000 and, you know, they don't really get that great of results, you know. We definitely see things, you know, all over the spectrum, you know, whenever doing lead generation. A lot of people ask, you know, what should I do now? What should I do next? You know, like a lot of you may know, you know, I recommend anchoring down on the numbers, understanding your KPIs. Don't just move in and move out of a situation. Don't be sporadic. Understand what happened. Understand what kind of list you're calling. Understand the script that they're using. You know, and when I first started this company, we had this horrible ass script. And one of the cold callers kept saying this by accident. And he kept saying, hi, yeah, I'm sorry, I might have the wrong number, but, and everyone kept going, yeah, you got the wrong number, dude. You got the wrong number, you know? And so it's like, we have to be careful, you know, what we're saying, how we're saying it. You know, every word counts, you know, and, you know, whenever we're doing marketing, you know, it's important to, you know, make sure we know. I ask a lot of people all the time, whenever a campaign sucks, it happens almost every time a campaign doesn't do well. I say, what kind of list was it? They say, oh, I don't know. You don't know?
They don't even know what kind of list it was.
You
Right.
know, oh, it's a list of properties that might have high equity. Maybe it's absentee or owner occupied. Well, which is it? You know, because when you're doing marketing, you're also going to find what not to do again. You know, you might find that out. If you don't know what kind of list you're calling and it does really bad, you might make that same mistake again. You know, and that's one of the reasons why, you know, we got to check our KPIs. We got to know exactly the zip code, the list type, the property value range. You should know everything about that and then adjust. Maybe you did too high, maybe it's time to do too low. Maybe you didn't do sale date properly, you know? You have to make sure that, you know, we're looking at our numbers, you know, don't treat
Right.
marketing. And I think a lot of people do this is they treat marketing like it's a fucking genie's lamp, you know?
Let's talk
like,
about that. Let's talk about that. That feels hot to me.
Yeah. Right.
Treating marketing like it's a genie's lamp.
Yeah. Like, oh, you know, I'm fucking, this is going to make me $10,000. You know, I have some clients call me up like $250 for $250. I'll list, pull, skip trace, give you an American cold caller and text message everybody. And then people call me up and like, I didn't close a deal on that. And I'm like, yeah, well, you spent $250. I mean, it's like, you know, some people close deals off that. That story I just told was a $250 investment deal. You know, I think we've had 20 clients that have told me that they closed a deal on their first investment with us. You know, and I tell that to clients. I was like, but we've had 5,000. You know? So
how do I go about setting my target numbers, my KPIs, like, and monitoring them? But if they're poor or they're non-focused, you know what I mean?
How do you know?
Yeah.
Right.
How do I know I'm doing the right thing, Nick? You know?
Yeah. So here's the KPIs that I consider, you know, good to amazing. I'll give you guys kind of like the levels. Okay. For cold calling specifically, you really want to see anywhere from a 9 to a 14% contact rate. If you're up near 14%, high five yourself. You are crushing. Okay?
Is that voicemails or actual pickups?
People. So out of 100 dials, 9 to 14 people actually pick up the phone. You know, that's that's the first level you want to be at. So 100 dials, 9 to 14 people. Now on 500 dials, now on an American dialer, on 500 dials, we like to see anywhere from 2 to 6 leads be generated. Okay, now if you're using foreign cold callers, now mine are really good, but if you're using foreign, we expect between 1 and 4 leads per 500 dials. All right. Now the contact rate does not change just because you put a foreign cold caller on. So that number should still be anywhere from 9 to 14%. But their performance is probably less than that of an American. Our Americans average, twice as much. Another thing that we like to see is our wrong number percentages. Our service has a 80% or greater accuracy rate. And I can see this. What we do is whenever someone has an issue with their campaign, I have my team run an investigative report. This is a report where we look at dials, leads, contacts, wrong numbers, failed, disconnected, busy, where I break down everything. And this really shows me how important skip tracing is. So I can see that out of, let's say, 2,000 dials, that 200 people answered. That's my 10% contact rate. And then I can see that 20 of those people were the wrong number. All right, so 200 people picked up, 20 people the wrong number. That's a 90% accuracy rate on skip tracing. A lot of times we don't really stop and respect the data that we're seeing, but that's a huge sign. I had this guy call me up. He was a little frustrated earlier. And I said, hey, man, we're calling Los Angeles and we had an 11% contact rate. And I was like, the good news is we're talking to people.
Yeah.
The bad news is we're not getting a lot of leads, but, this is a numbers game. I was like, but getting them to answer the phone is step number one. So when we talk about KPIs, the first thing you want to do is validate your conversations. And that's going to be contact rate. That should be 9 to 14%. And that's going to be how many of them are the right and the wrong number. This is going to tell you the quality of your skip tracing and your list. Just those two numbers. You're going to see how accurate your skip tracing is. Now your lead generation rate, that 2 to 6 number or the 1 to 4 that I was talking about per 500 dials, that's going to give you the quality more of your list. Are you hunting in the right area? Are you going in the right places? Now, I'll be honest with you, it's kind of hard to fucking test 500, and go, well, that doesn't really give you a clear picture unless you're in like Oklahoma and there's not that many people anyways. But, you really want to do this with probably a 2,000 test. You want to make sure that like 2,000 dials are done consistently on something. And as long as you're getting that 9 to 14%, keep going till you hit the 2,000. You got to finish the split test. Then if you find out that does work, great, it works, great, let's keep going. Let's do it again. Hey, it's not working, great. What's the criteria? Let's make an adjustment. Did the contact rate suck? Do we need to find new skip tracing?
Hey, I have said before, and correct me if this is wrong, but I have said before that there's a reason why PropStream offers 10,000 free record downloads every month with your base subscription, because they know it's going to take between 8 and 10,000 to get a deal.
Love that.
Is that right or wrong?
I love that. It depends what you're doing with the records, but the way the average investor treats them, you're right. I'll be honest with you. If you give me 10,000 records a month, we are going to make some money.
Yeah.
But the average person is probably collecting them like GoPro vacation footage that they're never going to fucking touch. And it's just like on this like SIM card.
Right.
Okay. Well, sometimes we're just collecting them just because they're given to us, but we're not actually putting them into play.
Man, that's so true. Yeah. So part of that is because we're disorganized and we don't know what we're doing while we're doing it. I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So being organized, paramount in your marketing. Like, do you know how much you're spending? Do you know how many you're reaching? Do you know how many were missed calls, bad numbers?
That's right.
How many picked up? I bet this is like a real weak spot for most people, because they don't teach how to organize your marketing at school.
Well, I'll give you guys an example. I just became partners in a solar company, and the solar company is exactly wholesaling. There's a lot of lead gen that's coming in from all different areas. And right now we have cold callers, we have door knockers, we have social media posters, we have Facebook ads running. And, right now I am getting the stats from everyone. Everyone's providing me their stats. And the answer is we don't know what to scale yet. And that's why everyone has to give me their stats. If I find out it's taking the social media people 30 hours to get 2 appointments, well, guess what? That's not scalable. We're not going to fucking scale that. If I can get my cold caller to generate 1 lead per 2 hours, that's fucking scalable. If I can generate him to do 1 lead per 1 hour, we're going to crush this, And so it's like, we need to know, and that's exactly what we're talking about, the KPI, so you know what to focus on. You know what? And learning what not to do is just as fucking good as learning what to do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How many people here in the room are doing any of the list marketing? Do you have lists that you're pulling or have it in mind to pull? Anybody in here working lists of any kind? Okay. All right. So some of us do for sale by owner scrapes and stuff like that. But in local markets, we talk about doing list pulling and calling and texting and all of that. Still today, ringless voicemail, iffy, right? Might not even be legal. Texting, that's probably legal if you do it the right way. But then cold calling is still the most effective way. What do you think, Nicholas? Cold calling still the most effective way to reach these cold market lists?
Yeah, cold calling provides the, and I like how you broke them down. Some people ask if my company provides RVMs. And I say, look, it's already automated. I don't, as a service, I don't know what I would provide to you. You're already sending out a recorded message and then vetting the calls back that come in, Now, the RVM does give you a lot of shit to sift through, right? There's no doubt about it. Text messaging, very similar, but, probably a little bit less, but texting is different. In RVM, you're probably sifting through dead leads. Yeah, you called me. Who's this? What? Huh? Confused fucking people. At least with texting, you're probably dealing with someone. They might be fucking with you. That's real, right? That's the one thing about texting is there's a high fuck with percentage on the text messaging leads. I always joke and I say that it's the coldest warm lead that you can get is a texting lead. So that's one thing about texting. Now
that makes sense.
Yeah, and then cold calling is the most qualified version. The cold calling is the most, you get them on the phone. It's the least potential for bullshit. It's a big difference when someone's typing a lie in their phone and the lie is coming out of their mouth. There's a big line drawn there, So, on the phone, we have the most integrity. We have the most rapport. We get the most information. RVM, you don't get shit. Text messaging, you really don't get shit. And then on the cold call, we ask up to 12 questions. And honestly, they're answered pretty often. You get all kinds of notes, even from a short cold call, and that's probably the one big benefit. I believe in doing texting and cold calling, and then using direct mail for like the ultra distressed. I think direct mail still has a home. It's just on the people that you don't want to call, right? So like one thing about cold calling is you really can't cold call super distressed people, because has anyone here ever talked to someone who's really pissed off?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Well, those people live on the mega distress list. Everybody on that list, their life fucking sucks. So they're gonna pick up the phone and be so fucking nasty. And that's why those are direct mail lists. And the difference is there's a big difference between someone reading a postcard and going, yeah, I actually do want to sell. And hello, yeah, who the fuck is this? Yeah, what? You fucking, blah, blah, blah. So, what happens is with the cold call, you're really calling into their life. They're in their underwear watching I Love Lucy. They are not freaking ready
right.
For for, for your cold call, you know?
One of the most frustrating parts of this business for me is, like you said, we were talking about KPIs. When we call 100 people, only 9 to 14 of them actually pick up and answer the phone, and we talk to them. But we leave pretty incredible voicemails around here in the club. Like, they're fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And so we get a lot of callbacks. And so the issue with the callbacks is I finished up my 2 hours of desk time. I've done some phone work. I'm now tired. I've completed my, I'm ready to go have a cheese sandwich. I like to put potato chips on it and then crush it down like that. And then, with a pop, that's like the best thing ever in the whole world. And here, oh, wait a minute, my phone's going off. Damn it. It's one of those pesky sellers that I called and left a voicemail.
Right.
So managing, like, what advice could you give us as far as from an investor perspective of managing the intrusive nature of the return calls? Because that's really where the fucking money is, right?
Right.
It's in those people.
This is actually a great question. And I think you're going to love this answer, because the only calls I get are intrusive calls. I schedule calls with no one. I say, if you need me, call me. I had 2 people, just call while we were on this thing. I like the spontaneous whim of the calls. You know what I fucking hate? Having something on my calendar.
Oh yeah.
That is what I hate. You know, I absolutely hate the calendar. And it's like when someone's like, hey, I'm gonna talk to you at 6:30. Is that cool? Or and I'm like, whoa, just call. Like, don't tell me you're gonna call. Oh, Jesus.
That's funny.
Ugh. So a couple things of that. Number one, is do we have anxiety around the phone ringing? Right.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. And I think, we all do, even me, even I do. And I have the best customers on the face of the damn planet, and I still hate the scheduled call. So I can only imagine people hate the spontaneous call. I prefer the spontaneous call personally. Now, the next thing I was gonna say is it's your job to make sure you're emotionally available to take those calls.
Right. See, that's the thing, man. You set down the phone, then you go crack a beer or 2, light up a joint, turn on your favorite video game, and you're fucked.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
Basically.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, and it's not even just that, I have people call me at 11 o'clock at night and they say, and I'll answer. And they're like, holy shit, somebody answered? And I'm like, yeah, like, dude, I'm so sorry. It's so late. And I'm like, I'm just watching Netflix. Like, please give me an opportunity to make some fucking money. Please, more calls. More calls, please.
They do have a pause button. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This ain't fucking 1995 anymore. I was alive in those days. A lot of people weren't. I see some of you guys were. I can appreciate.
Do you have TiVo?
Yeah, right. Not back then. But it's so important to really make sure. Now, I've given away every other job in my business but answering the phone. So for me, when the phone rings, it's the only fucking job I got. What am I gonna do? Not show up for it?
Right.
Look, someone's calling right now. But I'll get back to him.
Is that a customer?
Of course it is. And if it wasn't for me talking to 15 people right now, I'd be all over that.
All right.
And guys, and that pays off. I'll tell you, people call me all the time, especially investors, and they say, oh my God, this is the owner, because I have Facebook ads everywhere. If you guys haven't seen my face before, like, my shit is everywhere. And I'm sure, hopefully after this, you're going to see a lot of my ads. Please let me know. But so, these people, they see me and they recognize my voice.
Did you say a lot of your ass or a lot of your abs? Because I noticed you have a lot of shirtless content out there, man. What's the fucking story with that?
That is only personal. Is my shirtless content. That's my OnlyFans. Okay.
That's great.
I got to get it in where I can fit it in.
Did he say OnlyFans?
He said
Yeah.
OnlyFans. I don't know what it costs, everybody, but there's a link in the chat description. There's this video.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an affiliate. It's not called Money Sucks, I'll tell you that much.
OnlyFans, Ed.
Yeah, or Shut Up Money. Yeah.
OnlyFans. So, or is it, are you asking, Ed's asking what's the name of the company? Is it OnlyFans? Yeah, you go search for Nicholas Nick on onlyfans.com. It's a subscription basis. I think it's like $9.97 a month.
Justin, how do you know?
Justin's actually a top fan.
Look, I'm his fucking biggest fan. I'm everybody's biggest fan.
Oh Lord.
That's what's
Justin,
up.
Justin pays by the minute.
Yes, he does. He's my best customer, guys. I don't know.
Can you put Nick's link in the chat?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So that way, guys, that is my website, the business that we're talking about. But what I was alluding to was just being so active in your business. When your customer begins to see that you're available, 90% of my customers say it's like calling an old friend. They don't even, I'm right here for them. If you're frustrated, call me. If you're irritated, call me. I'm either going to fix it, make it right, or calm you down, or all three. It's like, it's super easy. I'm so available. I had a guy recently call me a scam on Facebook, and he's a customer of mine. And I was like, his name was Rick too. No offense, other Rick. But he says,
damn, bro.
All Ricks, beware.
Damn, yeah, that's right. But he was like, man, this game. And I was like, you have my number. Like, how come you went to Facebook first? And I ended up looking up his stats. We were only 10% completed with this campaign, and I was like, man, like, I thought you were done. Why did you think we were done? But I definitely learned a lot in that experience, but that availability, I'm so ultra available. That's the first time that's happened in 4 years we've been open, and I have to look at it as like a numbers game and just know and not get upset. And it's because I'm so active. So back to the spontaneous calls, free yourself up emotionally. Make sure you do have the cold calls going out. You don't have to be the one making the cold calls. You have to make sure they're going out. Make sure there's an acquisitions person converting those cold call leads to appointments. Make sure that acquisition person is making those appointments.
Boom.
It's your job to either do the work or make sure it gets done.
Yeah.
That is it. And I'm at a spot, I've hired out, I have 17 employees, and I don't have anything to do but answer the phone. And so when it rings, I'm like, ooh, here we go. I get excited about these calls. It's my only job. It's the only way I show up for work.
Yeah.
And so when that little responsibility comes, I can't wait to take it. So that's my advice on the impromptu phone calls. Find a way to make your job less stressful so you can focus your energy on some of those small points when they matter.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like too, there may be a greater principle here. He's saying make yourself emotionally available for the follow-up call there, the callback for the intrusive seller call, the closing call, whatever you want to call that. But I feel like too, there's a greater principle that we don't leave enough room for success. Like, we're so fucking busy being the losers that we are at the time that we don't have room in our day to win. Does that make sense? Like, I have definitely been caught in that tornado, man. Just go round and round and round. No room emotionally, no room in my schedule, no room in my life. And then what do? I just repeat Groundhog Day over and over and over and over. I don't know.
And I think, no, it does. And I think to add some clarity too, to what you're saying is, when you get so fucking caught up in the weeds of the small tasks you don't even like, by the time a revenue generating activity comes along, you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm all fucking out of gas now.
Yes.
I can't even show up to the big game
Right.
because I'm all fucking out of gas.
Right.
Is what I feel like you're saying.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
100%. Been there. And you know what? The only motherfucker, I'm sorry, you make me cuss a lot.
Blame it on him.
The only
Yeah,
motherfucker
exactly.
that can fix that is you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I can't fix that for somebody. Your mom can't fix that. Dad can't fix that. Priest can't fix that. You have to create that kind of emotional availability and focus, I think, too. It's what did you call this before? Malicious obedience. It's like you're being maliciously obedient to the fucking program, spite the money. You know what I mean? To spite the money. Does that make sense where I'm coming from? That was something you said in another episode.
No, totally. Maliciously obedient is a phrase. Even they're like, why do you call it that? I'm like, because that's what it is. Whenever you're so obedient, you may not even know it. Maybe you're not even trying to be malicious, but it is. You know, I say that about virtual assistants, which is probably what you were saying. Is virtual assistant, you tell them to do something, that son of a bitch will do it. Exactly that. Nothing more, nothing less. And it may not even know what the fuck you're talking about, and might just do whatever the hell it thinks it means, you know. And then, you know, someone else messages and they do the same thing. You know, I remember because I have an actual assistant that, you know, comes to the house and stuff. And I was like, hey man, buy some Coca-Cola and buy some Cheez-Its, right? And then after I get done eating and drinking the Coca-Cola and the Cheez-Its, I'm like, I cannot do this again. I cannot have more Coca-Cola and more Cheez-Its, right? and then I forget to tell him. It was just a thought that I had. So then guess what? He walks in later that day with more Coke and Cheez-Its. I'm like, oh, and that's the thing about being a boss is when you start systems, you also have to remember to stop them too.
Mm-hmm. Constant management, oversight. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
What's up, Victor? You got a question for me? I think you're muted.
I do have a question, but I don't want to step on Herbert because I think he's been trying to ask a question for like an hour
really?
now. Are you good, Herbert?
Oh, sorry about that, Herbert. Didn't notice, man. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay, so Nick, if I want to use your service, let's say, you know, I've already got some stuff going on, some campaigns, whatever, right? It's kind of a pain in the ass to me a little bit. I would love to be able to just turn it over and not have to engage until somebody has actually been qualified and all that. So do I need to bring you a list, or do I need to bring you a area that I want to focus on, say pre-foreclosures? Do I need to bring you a market that I want to go into, say San Bernardino, California? You know, how would I come into your system and maximize it from the very beginning?
So we have a couple of packages. So one I call the all-inclusive package. Now the all-inclusive includes a list, skip tracing, American or Filipino callers, and text messaging, all for one price. Let me see if I can screen share real quick. I can show you guys.
Oh, you got your shirt on.
Yeah, believe it or not, there's actually a cold calling course.
I used to see you with your shirt on.
I can't believe you can recognize me.
Like, who is that?
You guys are trolling his home Facebook page, man. I'm not sure about you guys.
We are all on that, man.
Hey, you know, I put out a lot of interesting content. You know,
Right.
I catch a lot of.
Yeah, you need to put a tip jar on those photos, I guess, man. These guys are hooking your shit up.
I got, you know, let's just say I attract a lot of flies with my honey.
That's right.
But yeah, so here's our website. You know, click the pricing tab at the top, and then this is what I call all-inclusive lead generation. Now everything here is no contracts, no commitments, no setup fees. So this is the price, and what you get, what is below it is what you get. And it's that simple. You can choose to use this over 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and we automatically have a 10-week program right here as well. This has become the most popular. I recently created a payment plan for the 10-week Titan. That's been super popular. So you can now get this for like $1,300 down and then $500 a week for 10 weeks. But basically what we can do, you asked, would you provide the list or would we? So we provide one list when it comes to sellers, and that's absentee homeowners. We've learned that absentee homeowners, have some of the best contact rates, some of the best conversations. Earlier, I talked about talking to an asshole. You don't want to really call, I wouldn't say a pre-foreclosure list is one that's strong for cold calling. Now, if I'm going to be more fair, I feel like because of COVID, the pre-foreclosure list might be back on the table. Okay. Previous to COVID, if people didn't pay their mortgage, it's because they didn't want to, right? Because of COVID, there may actually be people who wish they could pay their mortgage and actually can't. So I will say that COVID may change my mind a little bit because there's now maybe more people in foreclosure than there used to be. So there might be some reasonable people in there. But prior to COVID, we were in a flourishing economy. And if you didn't pay your mortgage, it was simply because you did not want to. It was that easy. So we provide absentee homeowners. You provide us with the zip code. You provide us with the equity amount. And you provide us with the property value range and the property type. So for example, 100,000 to 400,000 single family houses with 35% or greater equity. Now you can also supply your own list. Maybe you have your own 1,500 records or 2,000 records. If you supply your own list, you can still buy this bundle. I would just do one of two things. Number one, you could send me a bigger list and I can skip trace the whole thing, or I can give you a couple, I think it's very little, but it ends up being extra dials or extra text messages. The list pulling is not the most weighted for the 940 or for the amount. So it doesn't give you the most funds. Like on this one, it might be like $115 is the cost of the list on this one, that I charge you guys. These packages are heavily discounted and they are the cheapest you'll find any of my products because they're all bundled together. Now that's if you need everything. And I do offer this. This is American and then this is Filipino. If you notice the price changes whenever we go to Filipinos.
Yeah.
And then, so this is still all inclusive. So then we have only cold call. Now this is, you already have a list. You already have a phone number, or maybe you don't. Maybe you still need me to skip trace it, but you already have a list and all you want to do is cold call. You don't want a text message. You don't want me to pull it. And this is what you would buy. So again, the Filipinos are half as much as the Americans. So these are the same package, twice the price to get an American. Now the Americans do perform twice as good. So it really ends up, paying off as well.
Do we pay additional skip tracing at this level here?
Yeah, so this is just cold calling. Now, if you want skip tracing, I only charge 7 cents per search. And if it's a bigger file, I can give you 10% off as well. Like let's say 3,000 records or more, I can give you a 10% off coupon code. And it's 7 cents per search. Now, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I offer list and skip tracing by itself. I just dropped this price substantially. And we're now offering 2 cents per records on the list and 7 cents for skip tracing. So 9 cents total. So 1,000 records would be $90 pulled and skip traced. And that's cheaper than some companies just skip tracing.
Just skip tracing, yeah.
Right. So I just dropped that price because the way I see it is if I can get more lists with phone numbers in people's hands, they'll buy my other services. So that was my,
Do you guys do the scrubbing and all that too?
Yeah, what do you mean by scrubbing?
Do not call lists and litigators and all this stuff?
I mean, no, I'll be honest with you. I don't recommend the DNC list for cold calling. It's really, here's my DNC argument. There's no one going on the DNC and removing phone numbers. So like, let's say Betsy, or let's use a better name, Martha. Let's say Martha gets her number put on the DNC list, and then she gets another new phone and gets that number put on the DNC list, and then another new phone and that number put on the DNC. Well, no one's going back to Martha's 2 previous phone numbers and going, hey, Martha got a new number, take that one off, right? So, I operate under the ignorance, if you will, that there's hundreds of thousands of people on the DNC list who don't even know they're there and don't want to be there. And so that's why I don't recommend taking off the DNC. Now, if anyone ever says, hey man, I'm on the DNC, do not be an asshole. It's pretty simple. My team says the same thing to everyone. I'm so sorry. I will never, ever call you again. It's that simple, right? And if we're like, oh yeah, fuck you, buddy, you're on the DNC, I kick your ass right off the DNC. Okay.
The DNC right here.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Now honestly, if you come at them like that, they will sue your ass. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay. So, don't talk to people like that, and just bite the bullet. I get it. Cold calling sucks, but we can't snap at people. We've been open for 4 years. We average probably 40,000 dials a week, and we've never even had a DNC complaint at lead mining. And it's just about being polite and not hanging up on these people, and just, we try to treat everyone like they're a person. So, your leads are in good hands, as well. But yeah, so this is what I would recommend if you just want the cold calling here. If you don't have a phone number, I promise I'm the cheapest. I promise that we are some of the best ones out there. And for this price, it's not like you're investing a lot to find out whether I'm right or wrong. Trust me, I am the only skip tracing company that has a cold calling division. And I try to tell people all the time, I would not be open for 4 years if my skip tracing sucked. Okay. The doors would be shut if we were not getting the right people on the phone. So definitely, keep that in mind. We're one of the best, and most of the stuff same day delivery. If you guys submit a list today, you'll get it back today. There's no kind of flaw. Yeah, so that's
great. That's great. Good. Lots to chew on, lots to think about. Appreciate you being here with us today, Mr. Nicholas Nick.
Yeah,
it's always a joy to have you here, man. You're gonna have to stop by more often, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick, mind if I ask a question?
Hit me.
So on the qualifying, how does that all work? As far as qualifying that cold call.
So the cold call, what we call a lead, and I'm so glad you asked. What we call a lead is anyone who wants to sell now or in the future. Now, what we do, now that's a lead. That's going to be sent to you no matter what. Sell now or in the future. That's yours. Now, what we do to additionally qualify that for you is we then ask them 12 questions about the property. And these 12 questions really cover everything. When the last time it was remodeled, is there a tenant in the property? How old's the roof? Any general repairs? Is there a mortgage on the property? What's their timeline to sell? If we made a cash offer, how much would they take in the next 48 hours? Is there a good email address for them? Is there a good phone number for them? When's the best time for you to call them back? We ask them all of these questions, and then we send you the lead. Now, what I tell people, Ed, is we don't qualify the lead. That's not what we do. However, we find out if they want to sell, and then we ask them all of the qualifying questions. Some people, sometimes they want to these leads suck. Yeah, well, what about it sucks? Yeah, well, the homeowner wants $40,000. Well, okay. Well, the homeowner can want whatever the fuck they want for the house. I am not, and I remember when I first started, I used to say, I'm in control of a lot of things, what the homeowner says is not one of them. You know, the important thing is we're calling professionally, we're asking the right questions, and you're happy with everything else, you know, because all it takes, if this person says 400,000, the next one will say 25,000, you know, so it's like, it is just a numbers game to just pierce through that.
Gotcha. What it is, so those are like kind of cold calls, like, you know, out of state owners and things like that. What if you were calling for sale by owners and you know they want to sell?
Right.
Because I had
sale
someone making some calls for me, Nicholas, and,
Okay.
and you know, and he was just sending me leads that, you know, I mean, they're for sale by owners,
Right.
and we all know that, but you know, there was no qualifying, and you know, so I was kind of
No,
questioning, you know, what advantage was I getting at that point?
Right. And the answer was none, right? So whenever you call for sale by owners or Zillow leads, you do need a script change. So our average script starts like this. Hello. Yeah. Hi. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm looking for the homeowner of 123 Sycamore Street. Yeah, that's me. Oh, hi. My name's Nicholas. Have you ever considered selling before? Now, if I said that to someone on the FSBO list, they'd be like, what are you, fucking stupid?
Right.
The
Right.
fuck? Of course I want to sell. You know, I'm on the damn, where the hell did you get this phone number from, dummy? You know? And so what happens is on those lists, you flip it and you say, hey, I actually saw your property on the internet and I saw that it was for sale. You know, they tell me, how long has it been listed for? How long have you been selling it for? You know, you want to kind of get the conversation going in the other direction. You know, get them talking about all the annoying shit. Oh man, why you want to sell the place? Oh, okay. Well, you know, now if you're calling a FSBO, you're going to do one of two things. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're either going to lowball or you're going to terms offer them.
Correct.
Right. So you would have one of two things. Number one, you could have them build you a lot of rapport and just schedule you on the phone and let you deliver the ugly message, which is probably what I would recommend. You know, just have a nice friendly call, you know, ask some questions, some things that will help you maybe attack the pain points. Now, you know, it's been on the market 60 days. Now, you know, his aunt died there and she was a fucking hoarder. Now, you know, like whatever, right? And then now you can choose how to approach the call. So, you know, my answer to your question would be like, if it's a FSBO or if it's a lead that's already selling, you have to change your approach. And we've made the same mistake. And that's why I know someone gave us a FSBO list. That's why I said, what are you done? Like, it happened to us. We've heard all of it. And, you know, and the guy goes, I said, hey, you got 20 leads? Of course I got 20 leads, Nick. You're not using the right script. You're calling a bunch of people that are selling their houses, asking them if they want to sell their house. Of course,
Right.
sell their fucking house.
I'm in that boat, Nicholas.
Exactly.
I said, let's hold off this week. I got to think about this, man.
Yeah. And so, you know, I would reframe the approach. I would, hey, I saw your property on the internet. Make sure it's vague. Now you have a universal script for FSBOs. Okay. And then, you know, hit them with maybe some rapport builders and pain points at the same time. I also recommend asking easier questions first. My script starts with easy questions and they get harder and harder and harder and harder. And we did that on purpose. You know, let's get 8 or 9 yeses. It's kind of like, there's like a scientific study where if you get someone to say yes like 6 times before you ask them the real question, they'll say yes to that. So that's kind of like that in theory. So those would be the what I would recommend to do with your cold caller.
What a great point, Nick. I appreciate that.
Yeah, my pleasure. And, you know, and just so everyone knows too, like, you don't have to be a customer of mine to get great service. You know, like what Ed just asked me, the cell phone number on my website is literally my cell phone number. So, you know, if you guys go there and you got a question, like Ed just asked, you don't even have to give me your money. And the real truth is, I already know, and not that I do it for this reason, but if I give Ed advice and he closes a deal and he makes $50,000 and he wants to invest 6, I know that that is going to be coming my way some way, somehow. And if it's not, I'm still okay. But the way I see things is like, I want to give back, you know, I want to help. If my services aren't right for you now, let me still help you close a deal and I'll make it more right for you whenever the time comes.
I like it. I like it. So if I got you a FSBO list, you guys could work that for me?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You guys will pre-qualify them and everything a little bit. Then it won't just be like, yep, they still want to sell.
All right. Yeah. That's actually a good idea.
That's
maybe
what
to
I was
come up-
getting.
Yeah, that would actually be a good idea for me to come up with like a FSBO revitalization campaign.
Dude, I love it. That's
You
right
know?
that's right in our wheelhouse right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it that. I like it that a lot.
I'm gonna write that down.
Any questions for Nicholas Nick before we call it a day? We went pretty long today, longer than normal, and we had a lot of folks had to drop out because they got to go back to work or whatever. But for those of you that are still here, any questions or anything before we wrap up? Okay, all right. Well, hey, thank you everybody for being here. Appreciate you, and thank you, Nicholas Nick, for being here. Congratulations to all our MVP nominees and our Golden Cowbell Award winner, Coach Mark. Yeah, thank you, everybody. Love you guys. All
Hey,
right.
thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, Nick.
Love you
Thank
guys.
you,
We'll
Justin.
see you. Thank you,
Love it.
Nicholas.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here,
Thanks,
buddy.
man.
Appreciate it,
guys.
man. We'll see.
Yeah,
I'll see you on Facebook, man.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
MG.
Damn.